Today we're going to be giving some technical analysis on Sundial and go over a few articles that I found interesting as well. Let's get into the video. Hi everyone, my name is Zach and welcome back to Finance Bro. Before we get into the video, I'd like to ask you guys to please comment your favorite stock of the moment, why it's your favorite stock of the moment, and to also leave a like and subscribe as it really helps with the YouTube algorithm. And if you want 2 free stocks and you have not made an account with WeBull yet, then go ahead and click the first link in the description and get all signed up. But without any further ado, let's get into today's stock, ticker symbol SNDL or Sundial Growers. So obviously Sundial is one of the most talked about stocks on our channel, and for good reason. I do most of my research on Sundial. I am very up to date in all things Sundial. Literally every morning I'm checking Sundial in the pre-market. I'm checking for news coming out about Sundial. Hopefully that there's no news about more share dilution, because you guys know how I feel about this share dilution with Sundial if you've watched any of our videos. But yeah, if you guys want to check out the last video I made on Sundial, I'll put it in the card right now. In the last video I made about Sundial, I said that it had support at $1, and it did, but it actually broke that support, and that's why I'm a little bit wary of where Sundial can be going in the next couple of weeks. I think in the next couple of weeks we could be seeing a bearish trend, while I think that there will be a bullish trend in the long term. But yeah, I said in this previous video right here that they had support at $1. If they broke that support, then we could be seeing even in the 60s. So that's not going to be ideal for all of us Sundial investors, but it's what we have to deal with. But anyways, let's get into our first article for today from Investor Place. I've been getting a lot of articles from Investor Place recently because they have a lot of good stuff. Obviously, if you see today, the S&P, NASDAQ are up while the Dow is down slightly. My portfolio is actually doing really well today, so I'm actually a very happy guy today. But the title of this article is going to be Why Sundial Stock is a Huge Risk. And I wanted to bring up this article because I wanted to go over it and see if they have anything good to say, or like not good, because it's obviously they're gonna be talking bad about it, but I'm gonna try to dispute anything that might be bad, or just agree with them if there are some things that are actually bad. The author starts out saying, I'm as bullish as any cannabis stock investor. However, Sundial Growers stock investors are making one of the riskiest possible bets in a very risky space. And I would kind of have to agree with him, because I think that Sundial could be returning to like the 60 to 70 cents levels and finding support there before starting its trend back up. So that would lead, if you were to buy like today, to a loss of 30% of your position. So I'm not saying that's going to happen, but I'm saying that's very possible if it breaks 90 cents again. So yeah, I understand what he's saying there. He says that he sees a lot of parallels between Sundial stock and ACB a year ago. And I actually did trade ACB back in the day. I made a good amount of profit off of it, but it did lose a lot of its worth in the last year. He then brings up Sundial stock's numbers, which is where, on the income statement, yes, I can definitely see where people would be concerned, because they aren't doing as much revenue as they really should be at this point in time. But he says, let's take a look at Sundial's most recent quarterly numbers. In the fourth quarter, they reported $13.9 million in revenue, down 49% from the previous year. And that's something I'm going to bring up in when I go over the financials of the company. That's not very good at all. Sundial reported a net loss of $63.7 million in Q4 and a net loss of $239 million for the full year. And the reason this is not good for the stock is that they just keep on instead of trying to fix this, they just issue more shares and get more money, so their balance sheet looks really good. They don't have any debt, as we'll see when we go over and look at it. They don't have any debt. They have very little current liabilities. They have a lot of current assets, but it's because they have issued more than 800,000 or even 1 million shares in the past 3 months. So they basically just fixed it by diluting everyone's shares. He then brings up what I just talked about, how Aurora Cannabis was the king of stock dilution, but Sundial stock is in a league of its own when it comes to dilution. Their outstanding share count is up 1,490%, which I did, I was fine with it. I was like, okay, cool. No more stock share dilution. You have a good balance sheet now. You have a lot of cash on hand. You don't need like to dilute the shares anymore. And then like literally I was like, this is very good for Sundial. I'm bullish on them long term. The next day after I posted that video like 2 or 3 weeks ago, literally like 100,000 more shares, just like, hey guys, we need some more cash because we keep on losing tons of money. So yeah, I understand where they're coming from when they lose revenue year over year, and you know, have 240 million in Canadian net loss for the full year. It's just not good. And I like this quote. It says, ongoing retail speculation plus the potential for Sundial to make strategic and accretive acquisitions, given the strengthened balance sheet, exactly, they have more cash, they can, you know, acquire, you know, more things for more revenue, makes the short case risky, exactly what I was saying in our opinion. So yeah, short term, super risky. You could lose probably 30 to 40% of your position, honestly. They just keep diluting shares. But long term, as long as they can get revenue up this year, I'll be bullish. We need to see their next quarter's or Q1 earnings to see, you know, how they've improved with, now that they've had this balance sheet for a while, that they have a lot of cash. Like, are they doing more damage? Are they selling more? We have to see where this leads to. All right, so now we can get into their income statement and their balance sheet. So obviously they lost revenue year over year. They were at 76 million, now they're at 61 million. And yeah, so that's something I don't like to see. If we look at the quarterly, you know, they were at 23 million, 20 million, 12 million, and 13 million. So hopefully they can start trending back up and doing a lot more revenue. And yeah, they just need to stop share diluting. But here, let's go into their balance sheet. So obviously they had more assets in 2019, but they also had a ton more liabilities. So they had about 172 in like you know, cash that could be liquidated within 1 year, or current assets, and then they had 269 million in current liabilities. And then they just issued a lot more shares, got their current liabilities down, and also paid off 194 million in debt, all the way down into 1 million in debt. So that's exactly what I like to see. If you're going to dilute shares to get rid of debt, totally fine. If you want to dilute shares in order to acquire someone, in order to make more money, that's totally fine as well. Where we come into a, you know, where I don't like it anymore is when you continue to dilute shares, even though you have paid off all your debt, your current liabilities are low, you have a lot of cash. Why are you getting even more money? If you're loading up to do something crazy, acquiring this thing that's going to double your revenue, or even, you know, triple your revenue, then totally dilute my share, and let's get this ball rolling faster. Because obviously, if we look at their income statement, revenue's just not working out right now. But we're gonna have to see their first their Q1 revenue to, you know, really make a judgment on where this stock's going long term. All right, now we can get into some technical analysis. So obviously this thing has been on a downward trend for a while. If we go to the 30-minute chart, obviously this was when cannabis was trading like way above like their valuations, and ever since then we sold off. I mean, we did okay in the early March, but now we've even sold off into April, and now we are getting into dangerously low levels where I think that we can return to some dangerously low levels. Obviously today it is up about 5%, so we did very strong today, but it did get all the way down to 88 cents. So if we look to the last time Sundial was 88 cents, we're going to be looking all the way to about January, before they had their big run up. So here is where I'm talking about we can probably get back to the 60 to 70 cent levels. Probably the 70 cent levels is where I'd say we settle down and find support, but this is the last time that we had it. So yeah, breaking the 90 cents today was not good for Sundial stock investors. we got all the way down to about 88 cents. I believe it was yesterday. And then this morning, we obviously had some renewed enthusiasm. Hopefully we can get back where we need to break the resistance of about 99 cents. If we can get back up above $1 and try to find support there, then maybe we won't see Sundial return to 70 cents. But I think it's totally possible that we see Sundial return to 70 cents before we start our bullish trend back up for the long term. We'll have to see Q1's financial results, but as for now, let's try to keep Sundial above about 94 cents. I'd say let's try to keep it above that. If it goes below that, we could be returning to 70 cents levels. But I want to remind you guys that I'm not a financial advisor and that this is not financial advice. If you do want financial advice, make sure you seek it out from a professional financial advisor. But if you are interested in buying Sundial stock and you have not made an account with WeBull yet, what are you doing? You got to get in the pre-market and after hours with us. All you got to do is make an account, deposit $100, and you can get 2 free stocks worth up to $1,850. But that is going to be it for today. If you did enjoy it, please leave a like, comment, and subscribe, as it really helps with the YouTube algorithm and it shows we're doing something right here. But my name is Zach, and I'll see you in the next video.